we are raising our kids. Our kids are going to leave our home at some point, and they do have to have the skills and the discernment to be able to navigate those things. I feel like there's nothing I would change moving forward because I figured out and changed so many things in the year. Like we even halted curriculum this year. Like we were in the middle of a history curriculum, and here's something crazy cool. My 2 older kids are finally old enough. Like I do everything with them, but this year I was juggling the little and the big. And so I was having them read out of a textbook from a very reputable company that I love very, very much, totally biblical based.
You can say what it is.
Okay. So, and you guys would appreciate this because it's Sunlight, and I really, really like them. And my kids have always liked Sunlight, but there was one book that my kids kept coming back. And so here's the thing is I used to pre-read everything. I mean, anything my kids laid their eyes on, I would check first. A song, a TV show. You get to a point, though, with many kids and older kids where you just can't. I cannot read. Right. So I just make sure that they are getting things from people I trust, reputable resources. The books are books that other people have vetted, that are on lists from places I trust. So I didn't pre-read this book because it was from a company I knew and trusted. Well, my kids came back with this textbook and they're like, Mom, this just doesn't sound right. There's something off. And it wasn't a biblical issue, but it was a bit of a historical angle that... And I was like, you guys are just trying to get it. Go, just sit down and shut up and read the book. And then they just kind of did. And that's not like my kids. They were kind of complaining. So I finally was like, okay, read it to me. And I was like, that doesn't sound. And so the first lesson I learned is, you guys, this is so cool with us to be able to homeschool, to teach our kids these foundations and teach them truth, that they learn to have discernment on their own. Yeah. And it was so cool that my kids had that discernment. So of course I'm the mom. I call the company, and guess what? The company's like, oh, we don't use that book anymore. Cause I had bought it used from some friends. They're like, nope, we don't use that book anymore because of these reasons that my kids were saying. Wow. And they had, which totally blessed me with Sunlight, that they're doing that. And the woman I talked to was amazing. She was totally godly. She also told me, she's like, however, the things that were wrong in the book, if you would have read the instructor's guide, it would have pointed those out, and then you have the conversations with your kids. And I'm like, well, I didn't. But what was so cool about that experience that we as homeschoolers get to do is we are raising our kids. Our kids are going to leave our home at some point, and they do have to have the skills and the discernment to be able to navigate those things. And because they've been under our roof and we've been able to help them do that, then they can. And I got to, for the first time, see that in my older kids. My high schoolers saying, Mom, there's something that this isn't actually, And it was so cool. And then it was really cool to be able to call the company and be like, yeah, we don't use that book anymore. Yeah. So it's awesome. A blessing, because I think how many kids from public schools are getting things that are wrong, but nobody's ever told them or walked that through with them, and parents don't have a clue. Yeah.
And private schools too.
Private schools too. I mean, if you don't know. So that felt like a little bit of the fruit of my labor, that I got to see my kids discern something and come to me and say, I found something odd. But just to settle everybody, it was not a biblical issue. It wasn't even a major. I mean, if it was never caught, it wasn't a major thing, but it was a very neat experience.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.